When you think about it, does it affect you?
Well, the way you're asking me kind of does.
In what way?
Was it easy? No one ever asked me that.
Oh, I see. And so when I ask you that, it makes you feel what? Jeremy is a first time caller out of Arizona. Jeremy, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, Jeremy, welcome to the show.
Hey, so the biblical question.
Do you extend mercy to yourself?
Oh, to myself. Okay. Probably.
You do?
I think so because it's in my nature to show mercy to others.
And how do you show mercy to others?
Okay, so I'm half Indian and half white, and I grew up on the East Coast. And ever since my first day of school, like preschool, I started fighting. All the way to elementary school, middle school, high school, and even older than that. So I had a really hard time getting along with people who were like bullies, and also just people who just wanted to seem to come up and fight me all the time. But when you're in a fight, I've seen a lot of fights. There's a point where you stop. You show mercy because you know that you've already accomplished what you had to accomplish. You're not there to kill someone.
And how do you show mercy to yourself then?
How do I show mercy to myself?
You say you do show mercy to yourself, right? You said that.
I would think that I do.
You do extend mercy to yourself, and how do you do that?
Because I sin and then I go and ask for forgiveness, and because I'm being forgiven, God is showing mercy to me. So I feel that maybe I have to show mercy to myself.
And so you show mercy to yourself by going to God and asking Him to forgive you?
Yeah, it's a pretty tough question. I don't know. Yeah, I think so.
But you're not sure that that's what it is?
No, because I still beat myself down for the sins that I've committed.
And why do you do that?
Because I feel that, well, like I said, that I feel that I've been forgiven.
But why do you beat yourself down, though?
Because I feel I'm better than that. Like I said, being able to control my temper, which you have helped me out a lot with that.
Have you gone and forgiven your mother?
I have. She passed away. I watched my mom bleed to death when I was 13. She had cancer. Yes, I have.
But did you tell her that?
She loved me a lot. She was real proud to have an Indian baby, and like she was an awesome mom. But now I look back on it, when I was growing up, I would have these like temper tantrums and stuff, and she would just laugh at me, and that would make me go even more insane.
Did you forgive her for that?
I did. I did.
Did you tell her that?
I never had a chance.
Oh, I see. And how about your father?
My dad?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've forgiven him.
You told him?
The time when I wanted to, the day he came to see me, and I wanted to say this to him. He came in, he flew in here, and then the next day, my uncle called me out and said he's in the hospital, and then I would have to make the decision whether to let him live or to die. So I went in there and talked to him, but he was on a respirator and he wasn't conscious. Like,
And so you made the decision to whether you should live or die.
Whether he should, yeah.
And
The hospital told me that that he's not going to ever be right. He had a few strokes beforehand,
all right.
and when he was on the plane, he had a blood clot in his brain.
Oh, I see. And so was it hard to make the decision to pull the plug?
Well, I made it there, and I would say not. Not. It was hard. Yes, it was very hard. But I felt I had to make the right decision. It was. I haven't thought about that either.
You haven't thought about it?
Not consistently, no. It's not a thought that is always in my mind.
When you think about it, does it affect you?
Well, the way you're asking me kind of does.
In what way?
Was it easy? No one ever asked me that.
Oh, I see. And so when I ask you that, it makes you feel what?
That maybe I did something wrong.
I'm sorry?
Like maybe I did something wrong.
And why do you think that?
Because who am I to decide if somebody lives or dies?
Oh. Oh, you didn't do anything wrong, man. You did what you had to do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I had to do that once, and the person was on those tubes and in a coma like that. And so what I did was they could hear me and the nurses and everybody, but they couldn't respond verbally, and they couldn't open their eyes or anything like that. And so what I did, I asked them if they wanted me to do that because the choice had to be made. And I said that if you want me to do it, squeeze my hand one time or two times or something. And they did, and that helped me to make that decision.
Right. And this wasn't a family member of yours, though, correct?
Not a family member, but a close friend.
Right.
But you still, so don't fall into guilt about it. Let those thoughts go. You did what you had to do, and you've heard me say that all thoughts are all lies all the time about anything, right?
Yes.
So let the thought of that go, because right now you're having the thought of it, and then there's feeling coming, because the thought is telling you that, oh, maybe you should have done it. Who are you? And you're believing it, and so it's bringing on the feelings. All thoughts are all lies all the time about anything.
That's true. I believe that. And one of my friends, he's from India, and he's not a Christian. And I asked him about that, thoughts, and he said, yeah, I believe that too. I just found that kind of funny that he just came straight out and said, yeah, because most people, if you say that to them, they're like, man, that's crazy.
Right. That's because most people are not paying attention to themselves. Their eyes are on everyone and everything but themselves, so they don't really know what's going on within them. But all thoughts are all lies all the time about anything, so don't let the devil bring that up on you. Let that pass, all right?
Yes. And when you were talking, I think last week you were talking to somebody about all-white neighborhoods. Have you ever seen any bad all-white neighborhoods? Like I said, I grew up on the East Coast, and I lived on the streets of Baltimore and D.C. for a while. And in these areas in the city, there are places that are predominantly white. But you're right. There are some black people that live there. But still, even though there are not many black people, I don't know how it is today. This is like about 30 years ago. But their neighborhoods were still just as shitty as everybody else's neighborhoods. And just city people themselves, not all city people, but a lot of city people I've seen, they litter. They just throw their trash on the ground. So they don't care you know, like somebody's gonna come by and pick it up. But you know, when
Yeah.
I was there in Baltimore, man, they started to clean it up. A lot of new buildings were coming up and stuff. It was nice.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, I don't know how it is there right now, but
I mean, it's just beginning to be a mess everywhere now, for the most part, because the human nature is of anger, and they are pushing it as though it's of good. And when you push evil in your life, accept it as a good, it can't help but destroy you. I mean, it will destroy you. And likewise, they're pushing it in the world as though it is good. And so you can expect things to get worse and not get better. It's just going to get
right.
worse. And it doesn't matter what the color may be.
Yes, true. Hey, so can I say one more? Can I ask you one more thing or tell you one more thing?
Yes.
Okay, so in my life, I've seen this because I'm half white and half Indian. The white people think I'm Mexican, Jewish, Italian, you know, and the Indian people, like on the reservation, when they see me, they, you know, like, who's this white boy, you know? So they just think I'm white. So really don't fit in to either side.
Yeah.
But I've noticed this growing up.
Was that hard on you growing up?
No, not at all.
Did they
No.
call you a half breed?
Oh man, I've been called all kinds of names. You know, yes, everything chief, walk by and do the woo 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 and hey and all that kind of stuff. You know, and
So did you like that song with Cher? My father married us in Cherokee. My mother people were ashamed of me. The
Nice.
Indian said that I was white by law. The white man always called me Indian scrawl. Hybrid. She
yeah,
began to
that Cher song, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, so yeah, I never had a problem with that.
How's your life now?
I grew up around a lot of medicine men, and one man, his name was Split Cloud, and he was from the mountains in Pennsylvania,
Right.
and he made the false masks, the false faces, and he literally worked with spirits. And when I was a little boy, he called me into his room and he said, "Hey," he said, I'm wrestling this demon." He was 110 years old when he said this to me, and I went in this room and I seen I seen this demon. And then he walked me back out of the room and he started laughing and he was talking. I was a little boy, probably about like 8, 9. And he told his wife to get a bucket of water, and he looked at me and goes, as he's putting his feet in the bucket of water, he goes, "Yep." He goes, "I'm about to kick the bucket." And I thought that was funny as a little boy. But I was raised around those kind of people, a lot of people like that. And medicine man told me that, hey, when those white people, when they make fun of you for being Indian, he goes, you have to treat them as little babies. He goes, because they know no better. So, you know, it's okay. Don't let it get to you.
How's your life now, real fast?
My life now is a struggle. Life is always a struggle, man. I think for everyone, everybody struggles.
Want me to tell you how to live a life without struggling, period?
In this life, yeah, sure.
In this life, you can live in this world right now without one struggle. And the way you do that, overcome the anger and overcome thoughts. Thoughts and emotions have never been yours. They never will be yours. They're not from God. They're straight out of hell. If you relax and stay present and let thoughts fade away, then life will be easy. I promise you that. It will be easy. It will be amazing. The only reason life is struggle because you believe lies.
So this is what I wanted to tell you mainly is that, so the struggle between white people and black people, it seems to me so pointless and senseless because
it is. It's
black
not even
people
real.
have every opportunity to become anything they want. They've already proven it. Doctors, lawyers, senators, presidents, anything. Nothing can stop them. So yeah, this racism stuff and is just so ridiculous.
Are you doing the
You're
silent?
right,
are you doing the silent prayer?
I am, and it's brought me closer to opening that dark cloud that's between God and myself.
Nice.
You know?
Stay with it and just watch those thoughts, all right?
I'm trying, but I have a family too, and they have their own thoughts, which impede on my life too.
You
so,
have a wife and children?
and I love it. I do. I have a wife. I have a daughter, a son.
Your wife is Indian too, or white?
Yeah, she's Indian.
Oh, nice. If you overcome those thoughts, you'll be able to deal with your family perfectly, and whatever their problems, whatever problems they may be having, they will be able to overcome them. As you get right, they will get right.
I see that.
Yeah.
I see that.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Well,
and yeah,
did you
see it.
smoke
Thank you.
peyote as an Indian?
No, I've been invited to go to a peyote ceremony, but no, I didn't go. Hey man, I've done a lot of stuff in my life I'm not proud of,
Yeah.
but I've never done no peyote. I've never done any of that mess.
Oh, good. Stay away from that.
Yeah, I've never done anything like that. I'm a little bit older too, so that was the things that were in my time.
Nice. Well, Jeremy, call me again, buddy. I got to run. Thank you for responding to the biblical question, but call me again, all right?
Yes, my brother. Love you much, man. Thank you.
You too, buddy. Thank you.